ألا من كنت مولاه فهذا علي مولاه. اللهم وال من والاه وعاد من عاداه.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. To apologize for the sound, I had my air on. I'm over here eating some Ben and Jerry's, you know what I'm saying? They support Palestine, so gotta get that, you know what I mean? Alhamdulillah. But I wanted to make a quick video because ever since I previously converted to Islam, I became a Sunni. But after further research, I became a Shiite. So I'm Shiite Ali, alhamdulillah. And I'm posting this to kind of give you guys a reasoning as to why I converted. Well, maybe not reasoning, but as to kind of what led me to it. Well, first off, you know, when you're a Muslim, Sunni Muslim, you follow their traditions, you know, the Sunnah, you know, the Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, they're Sunnah, you know. And what I really dove into the most when I first initially got into Islam was the Quran. You know, that's Allah's direct word through the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam from the angel Jibril alayhi salam. So I used the Quran, you know, as my source material, my initial source material to understand and study, and I fell in love, right? And I have a video on this channel as well where I posted about how, you know, I became a Sunni, but now it's kind of explaining how I became a Shiite. So I was very interested in Islam because of my love for Allah, subhanAllah. And I began to buy books of hadith like Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. I actually got a summary of Sahih al-Bukhari for free, and then I bought the volumes of Sahih Muslim. So what I initially did was I began to read Sahih al-Bukhari, the summary, and I finished it. You know, it's a book about this big. It has, you know, compilation of some of the most important hadiths, you know, the way you pray, etc., and some other things included. But there was a few things that I read in there which kind of contradicted a lot of things that, you know, Sunnis do today, you know, and the fact that there was no agreement on how to pray in the hadith and other things that contradicted, like hadiths that would go against other hadith. So I began to question. I'm like, well, was the hadith actually preserved? I know the Quran was preserved, but was the hadith actually preserved? So I had a lot of doubts. And then I remember reading some hadiths about Aisha being, she was lying, being a hypocrite, and I was like, is this the mother of believers? But I still held on to that for a while because I was like, nah, this, you know, I'm gonna trust, because nobody's perfect, you know. Wallah, nobody's perfect. But eventually I began to read more and more, and kind of one day I just said, like, wow, this is really strange. Like, what happened? Like, you know, Islam is perfect, but it started to look imperfect now that I'm reading these hadiths. And I began to question a lot of things, and I'm not sure exactly how I landed upon the Shiite community, but I remember that I was on Reddit, right, and they have the Islam subreddit, and somehow I landed on the Shiite subreddit, Shia, you know, /r/Shia. I was like, man, these guys are probably really, really strange, you know what I mean? They got these little weird symbol on their, you know, subreddit thing, and I was like, man, they probably commit a lot of shirk, all this other stuff, you know, the lies they make up about the Shiite. And I decided that, you know, just one day I'm just kind of read, you know, maybe if I can try to help somebody because, you know, maybe they're misguided. And I just started reading, and I was like, it's really strange and interesting. And I started, like, what is their beliefs? And then I started seeing things like, wow, they curse the Sahaba, and I was like, wow, astaghfirullah, you know, why would they curse the Sahaba? But a lot of the points that they brought up regarding, you know, individuals like Umar bin al-Khattab and Aisha and Abu Bakr, you know, made a lot of sense. I was like, wow, like, is this actually true? And it only took me like a few days to kind of just become a Shia because of the fact that I have a lot of free time. Most of the time I spend at work, but then afterwards I have a lot of free time due to the fact that, you know, I'm just at home. I don't like to go out. So I do a lot of reading, you know, I read the Quran and I read some other books, etc. But I just started watching a lot of videos to see what people had to say from the Shia community and how they justified it. And I began to struggle with the deen. I was like, Ya Allah, help me. I wasn't going to leave the deen. Wallahi, I was going to stay on the deen. There's nothing that anybody can tell me that will ever have me leave Islam. Wallahi, I'll die shaheed tomorrow or today if Allah wills it. I love Allah this much, and I'm confident that, I'm a Muslim. Alhamdulillah. But I just began to just kind of look into it. And at first it was kind of scary, because when you believe these individuals are the most righteous and most pious individuals, you start to really, really love them. And then when you start to read these things, it's hard to digest. Wallahi, like when you're a Sunni and you learn about the Shia, it's really hard to digest a lot of the things they have, because it's hurtful towards us. We start to think, how can you curse this individual? These are the most righteous of the companions. No. They weren't. And the more I read and the more I watched videos of it, it began to make sense. And one day I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go to Reddit and just keep asking questions. And one day I just I typed on Reddit, I'm like, listen, I have a lot of interest in you guys' sect or school of thoughts. And I started getting help from some brothers, and they were very, very quick to help me. Alhamdulillah, they were very, very kind. The kindest brothers I've ever met. I never received such kindness from any brothers besides the brothers in the Shia community, mashallah. And they told me to go to a masjid. They live far up in New York, I live down in Florida, but they was like, just go to a masjid, a Shia masjid. And I did. At first I was kind of scared, go inside, people are kind of nervous about me, they don't know who I am, I'm praying like a Sunni, They're probably like, oh my God, this guy, he's in here, he's not Shia, he might be a Takfiri, things that might go through their mind, because, a lot of Takfiris out there might try to harm the Shia of Ali alayhi salam. But I go and eventually asked some questions, and I took my shahada. I did, alhamdulillah. A lot of the questions that I had were answered, and a lot of the fears that I had went away, because a lot of the things that the Shia posed made a lot of sense. Everything they said, there was an answer for it. And I was like, well, it's really interesting. I thought these individuals couldn't debate. I thought these individuals had no answers. The religion was based off of something made up after, but it's crazy. I was like, what? This makes too much sense. So I have a brother who I met who gave me a lot of books, alhamdulillah, and he gave me so much more. I have like a stack of books that he just gave to me for free, mashallah. I have a brother who gave me a key ring too. Brothers in the community are so kind. The hospitality of them, mashallah. May Allah grant them blessings and peace. But I began to read this book. It's called Shiism, and I don't remember what the author is. I might have to just get the book a little bit later and just repost something. And it spoke about the events at Ghadir Qum. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, whoever I'm his Mawla, Ali is his Mawla. They're like, no, that's not what the Prophet meant. He meant like a friend. But you're going to get hundreds of thousands of people in a hot desert day, telling people you're going to die soon. And you're telling them that this is your friend. No, this is his master, this is his successor. And I was like, wow. It just makes sense. The Quran, Allah gave the children of Israel 12 imams. Why would he not do that for the rest of the world? Us, So everything just makes sense, and it connected very well. And this is kind of where I've been at my journey. And I've only been growing more and more. And I just can't stop. Of course, I had those moments where my soul was just tired and overwhelmed, and I might not, recite as much Quran or read Hadith, etc. But at this point in my life, I really want to take a dive into Islam to the deep end, and just learn and digest all this information. But this is how I became a Shiite, and I never thought I would, because I thought the Sunnis were the orthodox Islam, the true Salaf, but the Shiite of Ali are the true Salaf, and it's quite amazing to finally be here. And I don't know what else to say, but that's kind of how I got here, and I'm going to keep continuing to learn. I don't have too much knowledge regarding hadith, etc., but I have enough knowledge to the point where I can say confidently that I'm a Shia of Ali. So, I want you guys to make dua for me, keep praying for me, to continue on this path of Islam and to continue to seek the truth and become the best version of myself when it comes to Islam. So may Allah bless you guys and give you good. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.